Hey everybody, welcome back to Anime Sekai Podcast. I am your host, Ichigo, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Mikan here. Hey guys.
Welcome back, guys. Happy Friday.
Woo.
Make sure you join us this week as we discuss our favorites from the Studio Ghibli collection. This week we are going to be discussing Studio Ghibli, and we hope you guys enjoy.
Yes,
So,
come join us.
yes, come join us. Sit back, relax, take a load off. It is Friday, and we hope you have fun. So, Studio Ghibli is super popular anime production company. Everybody should
Also,
know this by
yeah,
now.
yeah. I hope everyone knows what we're talking about. Probably one of the highest, like highly rated and critically acclaimed
Hmm.
anime studios.
Yes, Hayao Miyazaki has produced so many movies that have turned, I know, a lot of you into anime fans. I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. Why don't we start with what are your favorites?
I have two favorites that I will just watch at any point in time.
Okay,
Spirited Away,
of course,
which I'm sure
is a lot
that
of
one is the
people's.
one. Yeah, that's a lot of people's favorite. That one took off real quick in the US.
Hmm.
That's definitely a top fan fave, I think, for out of the Ghibli movies.
It is. I believe it's like the second highest grossing anime movie of all time.
Mhm. And the other one is not as common, but it is still one of my favorites, and that is Princess Kaguya.
Oh, really? That's kind of
Yes.
surprising.
I love Princess Kaguya. It
I
was
mean,
really
it's
cute.
yeah, it's rated really high, well, like highly,
Mhm.
but I thought it would be something else actually.
What did you think it was gonna be?
I thought it was gonna be Howl's Moving Castle,
No, I love that movie too. I can't
but it's not like your
necessarily
top.
put them in order. I mean, I I think the reason that I put Princess Kaguya over Howl's Moving Castle is simply because I actually like the tale of Princess Kaguya, the,
Ah, okay. Like the actual,
Japanese
yeah, the
folk
folklore
tale.
store. Yeah,
Mhm, yeah. It's such a beautiful story. For
it
those who have
is.
not seen it, please go and see it. It is amazing. They don't talk a lot in the movie.
Yeah, and the animation style, for those of you who haven't seen it, it's a little bit different from what they usually do.
Yeah. It's crisp and it's clean, but if you're
Mhm.
expecting it to look like Howl's Moving Castle or even Spirited Away, I hate to say it, but you might be slightly disappointed as the animation style is not the same, but
Yeah.
it is still a beautiful story in its own. What about you? What are your tops
So
for
I have
Studio Ghibli?
3.
Okay.
Of course, no specific order, but Nausicaa, one of their first ever
Mhm.
for the studio. I also love Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke. Those are my top 3.
I knew about Princess Mononoke, but I'm actually
Yeah,
slightly surprised about Howl's Moving Castle.
I love Howl's Moving Castle because I'm trying to think of movies that I could watch like 100 times and still be like, okay, I can still watch it 101 times. And those are probably the 3 I could do that with.
Yeah. I could actually, if I were to add one more, I would add Kiki's Delivery Service.
I knew, actually that's the other one that I thought would be in your top.
Was Kiki's Delivery Service?
Yeah.
I want to say Kiki's Delivery Service was actually my first intro, was the first anime intro for me
Oh,
into
into
Studio Ghibli. Mhm.
oh, mine was Totoro, and I was traumatized as a child. I was
Why?
terrified. Oh, he's scary. He's literally his mouth opens so wide, like he's about to eat you, and he's creepy. Like I still think Totoro is creepy. Like I don't get the cute appeal. Like it doesn't appeal to me as cute.
I think he was cute when he was, like, in the chibi form, like, the
Oh yeah, the
smaller
mini ones.
version,
Yeah, they have.
the mini
Yeah.
ones. I guess you can call him Totoro, but yeah, no, that movie, I thought it was cute. Am I gonna add it to my top? Probably not.
Yeah, no, same. Also, the cat creeped me out as
The
well.
cat bus?
Yes, the way it opened and everything, oh my god, no, I didn't like I didn't like that at all.
That
Oh,
movie was
man.
really different.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, when I first saw it, I was pretty young, so I
Oh,
was a bit like, "Oh my goodness, what is that?" Kind of. I had nightmares, I really did. I thought Totoro was gonna come and eat me.
I mean, there was that one scene where May climbs up on top of him and is,
Yeah,
like, scratching
that's the
his
scene that I was,
nose.
like, creeped out by.
Okay. I thought he was gonna eat her, not gonna lie. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is gonna turn real dark."
Also the rain scene, I don't know what it was, but it was just, like, creepy, like, the vibe to me was a little bit and his beady little eyes, just I don't know, they just have no emotion, so it creeps me out.
So then would you say Totoro's probably on your least liked
No,
movie
it's definitely
list?
not. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's kinda cute, and I get the appeal. My least is probably Kiki. No, I'm kidding. The Wind Rises. I'm sorry for anyone who likes that. It was too boring for me. It was too slow. I just can't.
We saw that movie when it came out in Japan.
Yeah, in the theater, and I was
Mhm.
literally trying to keep my eyes open.
I don't remember you trying to keep your eyes open.
I was trying real hard. I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is too slow. How long is this movie?"
It's not I mean, the animation style-wise, it's very similar to his other
Yeah,
movies, like Kiki and
all the
Howl's
other
Moving
ones.
Castle, yeah, all
Yeah.
the other ones, but you're right, the story itself is very slow.
Mhm. I think personally, I like stories with a little bit more magic in them, and
Yeah.
that was a little too real for me, you know?
And that's the thing, not all of his movies are whimsical and magical and, like, take you to a
Yeah.
whole different place. Some of his movies are very, like, "This is real life." For example, Grave of the Fireflies
Oof.
was I know, I didn't wanna bring that up because that was such a sad movie, but
That was
we gotta talk about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was probably the first movie I saw where I got depressed watching it.
It is heavy, and it's like I said, not all of his movies are the whimsical, magical, have a happy ending, quote unquote. That movie was based on a real life event. It was basically reality animated.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, actually, he wasn't the director for this. It was just part of his studio
Yeah.
or Ghibli studio, but Isao, I think he's made, oh yeah, he's made, off the top of my head, I remember he's made Pompoko,
Yeah.
and I think he did a few of the sort of sadder tales, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, I think he was also the director for Princess Kaguya. And he was also
Really?
yeah, he was also the screenwriter with somebody
That's
else, Rico.
that is so interesting because the way that they advertise it, it says Hayao Miyazaki's Princess Kaguya.
I think because it's, like, they categorize Ghibli as his studio.
I see.
Yeah, so technically anything under it, I guess they
Is
put as
his
his. Also, he's the one who brings in, like,
the audience. I mean
yeah, the audience, so it's easier to, like, market it with his name.
I mean, to be honest with you,
But
him going in and out of retirement to make these movies
yeah,
is really what brings in more people to see everything else,
yeah.
but
I mean, him and Isao were the ones who basically founded Ghibli, so
Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense.
but he's definitely more like the famous one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, and Castle in the
Yeah,
Sky, those top 3, mostly under his name,
yeah,
and then the other I don't wanna say lesser known Ghibli movies, but quote unquote "lesser known Ghibli movies" is under Isao, so yeah, I can see that.
yeah. But I'm surprised, I actually I thought Kaguya-sama was but yeah, it doesn't look like he wasn't even a producer on Kaguya-sama. Yeah, they came after
Yeah.
The Wind Rises, which was supposed to be
Mhm.
his last,
That was
so I guess
supposed to
that
be
makes
his
sense.
last one, that's why I was like, "Oh, that's Hayao Miyazaki," because they announced it as, "This is Hayao Miyazaki's last movie, and then he's going into retirement."
Oh, I thought it was Wind Rises. I remember everyone was like, "Oh, this is his last movie," and I was kinda disappointed because I was so bored. And I was like,
Oh,
"This is
you're
his
right.
last movie?
You're right.
Dang."
Well, and then after The Wind Rises came out, Studio Ghibli, they released a couple other movies after that,
Yeah, they did.
including the 3D
Oh,
anime
is that Earwig?
movie. Yes.
Earwig, what is it? Earwig and the Witch, right?
Yes.
Isn't that his son, Goro Miyazaki?
Yes.
Have you seen that? I haven't seen that actually.
I have seen it.
How what is like, is it good? From your
I want my
reaction,
t
it doesn't.
I want my 2 hours of my life back.
Ah, that's hilarious.
And I think it's because I expected a lot more out of that movie,
Mm.
and I was
You were like,
shocked.
"No."
Yeah, by the time I actually finished the movie, I was like,
You regret
"What was
everything.
this?" Yeah, I was like, "What in the world was this?" And I was excited because I'm like, "Oh, Studio Ghibli is actually trying 3D animation for their movies." I thought that
Yeah.
was a pretty interesting concept, interesting idea. Watched the movie, and at the end of the movie, I was like, "What did I just watch?"
I've
You know,
never
I
seen it.
that don't don't waste
You're,
your time.
like, speechless. Oh, man, now I gotta watch
Like,
it. I gotta see what
I
it's
hate
about.
to say that, but I was thoroughly shocked at the end of that movie, and I don't like throwing hate on anime because I think anime in general is so unique in itself, and I get that, people like what they like and they don't like what they don't like, but that movie, I'm not watching it again. I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not.
Now I
I
gotta watch it. Now I really gotta
You can
watch it.
watch it. You can let me know what you think, but the whole time I was, whew, yeah. That was not one of my favorites. That was my least favorites from if you're considering all the movies that Studio Ghibli has produced,
Yeah.
that is on the very bottom.
I'm definitely gonna check that out now.
I just remember seeing it advertised and then it was released on HBO Max,
Mhm.
now known as just Max, and I watched it.
And you were
I
traumatized.
I'm not gonna do that again. The other Ghibli movies, I will rewatch as many times as I want to.
Mhm.
Not that one. Not a fan of that one.
Oh,
Nope.
man. You told me that I think you mentioned that you didn't like, Tales of Earthsea either.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, you haven't seen that one. Okay.
Mm-mm. I haven't seen
People
that one. The other
yeah.
one that I don't particularly care for, I think and I have seen it a couple of times, it's not really my thing. Ponyo.
Oh my god, me too. Like, I don't hate it, like, it's not but I didn't get the appeal.
Yeah, I didn't get the appeal either. I thought it was cute. I'm like, okay, this is cute. The storyline's nice.
Yeah.
That was about it. Let me put it this way. Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, Spirited Away, and some of the others drew me in more so than Ponyo did.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It felt too much like I was watching a kid's I mean, it is a kid's movie, but it felt too much like a kid's movie.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will rewatch the other movies more times than I will watch Ponyo or Earwig ever again. You
Oh, yeah,
know,
same.
not throwing any hate to either one of those movies, just they weren't for me.
Yeah.
They
Actually,
weren't.
one that I don't know, I just didn't really feel it. Arrietty, I don't know why, but I didn't really feel the vibe from that one. It was okay, like, it wasn't as,
Mhm.
like, horrible as the ones that I don't really like, but it was
Yeah.
just, like, kinda slow. I don't know, it just had that slow vibe to it.
It was slow. It was a slow start, but once you got middle to the end of the movie, it picked up real quick.
Mhm.
I did not like the way it ended.
Mm.
I wanted it to, and spoiler for anybody who has not seen Arrietty, but I wanted it to be more of a happy ending. I feel like
Yeah.
they just got forced out of
And
their
yeah.
home
Yeah.
and now they're moving to another place, but you don't see what that other place is.
Yeah.
You don't know what happens to the guy character who basically helped Ariete and her family escape,
Mhm.
that's like the end of the movie. I felt like there should have been more to the movie.
Yeah. No, I
It
agree.
left you wondering, like, okay, well, are they gonna like where they're going to next? Do we get to see where they're going to next? All we know is that this other guy, who I guess is not part of their clan, but part of their clan, quote unquote, is taking them to his homeland. Like, does Ariete fall in love with him? Because it seemed like
Yeah.
she was kind of falling in love with the other guy who was a human, and they weren't allowed to mingle. It was really weird. And then the beef with between Ariete and her family and the housekeeper,
Uh-huh.
I felt like that wasn't really explained. Like, it was explained, but it wasn't explained. Like, she was
I
like,
know what you
"Oh, well,
mean.
they're borrowers, so they keep borrowing stuff from us." And I'm like, "They borrowed a half a lump of sugar."
Mhm.
Like,
But yeah, no, I
how
know what
can
you
you tell
mean.
that that was missing?
They can tell.
That was the thing
No,
that
I
meant,
I know
like,
what
I
you
was really
mean.
like, "How can you tell?" I was really like, "How do you know that these little, very, very small items are
Yeah, are going missing.
missing?"
She was like,
It's
there was 12 sugar cubes in there, now there's 11."
and a half.
And
Like, how can you tell the difference? They have been borrowing stuff from us this whole time. Mind you, the grandmother, the lady that owns the house, not the housekeeper, but the actual owner of the house, was not tripping.
Mm,
The housekeeper was tripping.
yeah.
It was really like, if the lady that owns this house is not tripping, why are you tripping?
Yeah. No,
This
I
ain't your
agree.
house.
She was just losing it.
Yeah, man.
Is there one that you would say is underrated?
Of the Studio Ghibli,
Yeah.
Princess Kaguya.
Oh, really? Well, I guess it's, like, not one of the super well known because it's kind of a little bit different from their other productions.
Well, and it's based on a Japanese folk tale. I mean, mind you,
Yeah.
all of, not all, but a majority of the Studio Ghibli movies have a folk tale slash mythology piece to their movies.
Mhm, yeah.
This one is just kind of wrapped around a whole folktale and a whole well, it was turned into a movie. So, I honestly think if you don't fully understand Japanese folktale, you're not gonna get the gist of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I can think of is Princess
Mhm.
Kaguya, because I know a lot of people who have not seen that movie, but they can tell me, "Oh, I've seen Spirited Away. I love that movie. Oh, I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service. I love that one." Or Howl's
Yeah.
Moving Castle. That's my favorite. But when I ask, "Oh, well, have you seen Princess Kaguya?" They're like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I feel like that one wasn't really catered to a lot of Western audiences. It was more like
mhm.
a Japanese because it was, I mean, Japanese story,
Yeah.
which makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mhm. What about you?
I feel like the older, like, of course, the 2 OGs, Nausicaa and Castle in the Sky,
Mm,
Lapita, people maybe have know the name but have never seen it.
yeah.
Even people who watch anime, a lot of people have not seen it, which is unfortunate because in my opinion, they're one of the better ones.
I loved Castle in the Sky. I loved
It's
it so
really
much,
good.
I memorized how to play the main song on the piano.
Ah, yeah, the music is really good, and the story's
Girl,
really good too.
I feel like I've seen Nausicaä,
So good,
but I
so good.
don't
Those
remember it.
bugs creep me out. Those bugs basically, it's like kind of like post-apocalyptic type of world,
Yeah.
and they have these, like, little bugs with a bunch of eyes and stuff.
That's probably why I couldn't get into Nausicaä.
It is kinda, like, nasty. I mean, but Momonoke Hime too, Princess Mononoke is like they have those, the boars, the
Oh,
those worm things, oh my god, that really irked me. I hated that.
yeah, that movie, Princess Mononoke, was not that's not a kids type of movie. That's more of
Yeah.
like teens, adults type
Yeah,
of
I agree.
movie.
That was one of the more bloodier ones that they
Mhm.
had.
I was not a full fan of Princess Mononoke.
I mean, Nausicaa too, I think they, like, kill people in Nausicaa as well, so It was pretty messed up.
Well, and I think it's because in my mind, Studio Ghibli has so many happy go lucky fantasy type movies that these darker stories, I'm just kind of like, I feel like this don't fit with the overall image, quote unquote. Like it does, but
Yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, I prefer and I like the more darker stories, so
Mhm.
that's just a personal and I especially like the ones where they're fighting, like, nature and whatnot, man versus earth, those kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, how do you feel about the music?
Ooh, so good.
I absolutely love all the music in all of the movies.
It's so good. It really is. I feel like for me, like, the most memorable ones are also the older ones. For me, Nausicaa and Rapita, their
Um,
ending songs were I don't know, they stay in my mind.
well, I kind of feel like Spirited Away, Laputa, and Howl's Moving Castle are the ones that if I heard them just playing in a store, I would instantly recognize them.
Mm,
Naushka, not so much. Ariete, not so much. But
I
I
don't know any
think
already song.
I know maybe one or two just because I have a couple of Ghibli playlists that I like to listen to when I work.
Uh,
So I know them because I hear them from the playlist and then I'm like, where's this song from? And then it's Ariete. But I want to say for soundtrack wise, that is the most popular might be Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, and maybe Castle in the Sky.
yeah.
The composer that does most, if not all, of Ghibli's background music, Joe Hisaishi.
Yeah.
That man is a genius.
Oh, yeah. No, he's definitely up there with my favorite composers.
All of his songs, all of his Ghibli songs, the background music, have the power to transport me to a whole different world. That is
Mhm,
very calm. I mean, I could close my eyes and listen to, I'll say, One Summer's Day from Spirited Away,
mhm.
and I feel like I'm being transported to a beach or just like a very quiet cafe with white walls, rich brown wood with beautiful trees surrounding me, and just sipping on coffee while watching the sunset on the
Wow,
beach.
that's such a nice image.
It is. That's what his music does. I'm like, I feel like that the fact that Studio Ghibli's music, his composer, for me, has the power to just kind of mentally obviously not physically, but mentally transport me to a different world.
Yeah,
I'm here for it every single day.
yeah, and I believe he was, the composer for the bigger titles, like, I think all of the bigger titles.
He composed for Spirited Away,
Yeah,
Tales of the Earth Sea, Kiki's Delivery Service. I want
mhm.
to wait a minute. I think he's done almost all of them.
He's done, like, all the big ones he's done, like Nausicaa, Castle in the Sky, he does Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo,
He did
um,
Pompoko, I think, too.
and of course
It
your
might have
favorite
1 or 2.
Kaguya, Princess
Yeah, he
Kaguya.
did do that one, oh my gosh,
Oh, he's doing
just
the new movie too,
girl, I
the
cannot
How
wait
Do
for
You
that new
Live?
movie. Yes.
For those of y'all, it's coming out July 14th, so
Is
it's
it?
right around the corner. Yep, it says July 14th as far as I've seen.
So, for those that do not know, Hayao Miyazaki has decided to come once again out of retirement
For the 20th
for
time.
I don't know I don't know how many more times he's gonna go in and out of retirement, but hey, I'm here for it.
Mhm.
He's coming out of retirement to produce, now I don't know if he has said this is his last movie because he said the same thing with The Wind Rises, but he is coming out with another movie, and he has said that he is not going to advertise for this movie.
Yeah, it's just gonna come out.
We don't have any visuals other than I think just the one. I think there might have just been one visual that was released?
There is, like, a poster for it, like a teaser
Yeah.
poster, which is like a bird, and I think there's a person in the bird or something like that. I don't know, it's a weird
Mhm.
image.
We have no idea what this movie is about, but I'm actually curious to know once this see, I thought it was coming out later, but once this movie actually gets released,
Mhm.
it's gonna blow up.
It'll be interesting to see, yeah, like, how what the reaction is.
Mhm. But we
Because I
don't
know
know
in
anything about it.
Japan yeah, I know in Japan it'll be but I'm curious to see, like, overseas how it will do, because I feel like a lot of people don't know don't even know it's coming out in July, let alone that it's coming out this year.
I knew it was coming out this year, but I thought it was September, October, like, later in the
Yeah, that's
year.
what I thought too, but no, it's
Ooh.
literally this month.
Hayao Miyazaki came out from retirement and said, "Look, I'm gonna produce this last movie for y'all. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna drop the movie. And if it does well, it does well. If not, oh well, you got another movie."
I'm wondering if he's every time it's like it gets like a lukewarm review, he's just gonna keep making more till he finds like another masterpiece. He's gonna come back every time. He's like, "You didn't appreciate the last movie I gave, so I'm gonna come back with another one."
Yeah, The Wind Rises was not his strongest exit movie.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I
enjoyed
w
seeing it in theaters in Japan, though. That was fun.
I think I was too comfortable. Like, it made me more sleepy.
With those seats that recline back.
Yeah, and it was dark and, it's just the perfect environment to fall asleep.
Yeah. It also wasn't too cold compared to, like, most American movie theaters, but
Yeah.
I am interested to see how well Hayao Miyazaki's last movie does.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what it's even about.
I wonder if they're gonna show it in theaters here or if they
As far as I know, it just says release in Japan. I don't see, like, release anywhere else. It could be, though.
I mean, I would assume it would be released later,
Yeah, probably.
but I do like the fact that America has a Ghibli week or month, I think, where they showcase all of Hayao Miyazaki's movies. I
Oh,
should
yeah, I
say
know
all
some
of the Ghibli
theaters.
movies, not just Hayao Miyazaki.
Yeah, like, I heard some places do that, which is really cute.
And this year, during their Ghibli movie showings, they released the first ever recording of the live action play for Spirited Away.
Huh. Wow, live action.
Yeah, it's a play
That's cute. That's actually
that
really
they've
cute.
recorded. I didn't know that they even had one until I saw the commercial for it.
Neither did I. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to send you the visuals because it looked good, and it was
Ooh.
a first American release, so
Oh.
and these are all Japanese actors, actresses. I don't necessarily know if the play showed in Japan, but I do know it showcased in Europe, I believe. Don't exactly know where in Europe, but,
Oh,
like, you could
interesting,
see it
yeah.
live in Europe. Mhm.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about this.
I really hope that later on down the line, HBO Max, AKA Max, will pick it up because I really wanna go see it. I missed my chance to go see it in the movies,
Mhm.
and just from the trailer, it looks really good.
Ooh.
I was very shocked.
I should yeah, we should check it out, we should check it out.
Well, it's not showing in the theaters now.
Somewhere, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere.
We gotta find it. If
Oh,
anybody knows where it's
yeah, if
streaming,
anybody
let us know.
knows, let us know, give us the
We wanna
hookup.
see it. We definitely wanna see it.
Oh, I found a little sentence about what How Do You Live is about.
Oh,
Apparently it's
yes.
the psychological growth of a teenage boy through interactions with his friends and uncle.
So it's
It's
a coming of
君たちは
age?
Yeah, I think so. 君たちはどう生きるか. And the art style, it kinda looks a little different from what at least the posters that I've seen. The art style kind of looks like almost like Kaguya-sama.
Yeah.
Not really, it kinda has that, like, artsy style.
It's not his typical
Yeah. Clear,
animation
like,
style.
clean cut kinda style.
Yeah.
It almost looks like an art book.
Hmm.
So
Well, we'll see.
yeah, we'll see, we'll see.
I actually really enjoy Studio Ghibli movies.
Oh, yeah.
It
Same,
is
same. That's
my
good.
comfort during stressful times.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's got they have great storylines, great female protagonists, that's another one.
Yes.
That is honestly one of some of the best female protagonists in these
And I
movies.
and I love their character developments
Mhm,
and their growth in these movies. I will say Kiki from Kiki's Delivery Service.
mhm.
I thought she was a great character. I didn't like at the end that she kind of like the only power that she basically had was that she could fly.
Oh,
That was the only thing that I was like, "Come on now, yeah, like y'all could give her something."
yeah, they never really went into any power. It was just basically,
No,
yeah, she could fly.
she was like, "Oh, she can fly, so she's still gonna be delivering packages."
Mhm,
Then she couldn't talk to Gigi again,
mhm. Oh, yeah.
which somebody explained that to me as Kiki had grown up and basically she did not need to speak to Gigi anymore.
Uh-huh.
And that was to signify her getting older and her recognizing that she is no longer a child. Which, when they explained it to me that way, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that. But I still wanted her to be able to talk to Gigi.
Mm. I just thought when I was watching it first, I thought it was like she's letting go of her witch ways and kind of, I don't know, assimilating into like human life.
Which
That
I
was just
get that,
me.
but if that's I get that, but if that's the case, she shouldn't be able to fly. She shouldn't
Yeah, I
fly
know.
anywhere.
That was like the last thing she was left with, kind of thing.
I'm like, this girl can still fly. Where are her other powers?
Yeah, for real.
Like, her mom can mix potions and stuff like that.
Mhm.
This other witch that she done ran into is a fortune teller, and she's, like, a successful fortune teller from, like, the town over.
Yeah,
So all Kiki can do is deliver stuff?
basically. Ah,
I wanted there to be just ever so slightly more.
yeah,
I But then again, it probably wouldn't be called Kiki's Delivery Service.
that's true. That was basically the main aspect of the story, I guess.
They coulda gave her one other power.
They really could have.
I
They
don't know
really
what it
should
was
have.
gonna be.
Something cool.
Maybe she could turn the letters of the or the packages and give them, like, wings so they could just automatically get delivered. It
Mm,
would still be Kiki's Delivery Service, but she would have the magic and the powers to where instead of her going, she got her own magic to deliver it for her.
yeah, like, she could just help them bake or, like, some heat power, she could help them bake.
I feel like Kiki's Delivery Service was not finished without telling us, other than her flying, what was her like, what power did she get, if any? If she didn't get any, then I mean, I get that, but if she didn't get any, she shouldn't have been able to fly.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's just they didn't really focus on the witch aspect. It was just, like, about a little girl and her coming of age kinda thing.
Which I get,
Plus
but in
the
the beginning
little
of the movie, she's so excited to become a full-fledged witch.
I know, and then they just kinda scrapped that whole thing.
Well, it could be, I'm just throwing this out there, and I'm counteracting myself. It could be where before when she was leaving the house and she was so excited, she was like, "I'm finally gonna become a full-fledged witch." Those were her quote unquote childish thoughts. Now
Okay.
that she is slowly becoming an adult, she realizes she does not need her powers.
Mhm.
And thus she is okay with losing her power
Okay.
to become a somewhat of a quote unquote adult.
Yeah, I could see that.
I still don't like it though.
Yeah. Yeah, it would've been cool if they, like, had sort of more power or something cool. She's just a broom witch. She can only fly.
She was so excited to be a full-fledged witch. So then at the end, did she become a full-fledged witch? I guess we don't know.
Yeah. I guess
Or I
it
guess because she decided she didn't need like, fully need her powers anymore, then she became a full-fledged witch?
I don't know, she kinda just basically went on with her life.
Yeah.
She just became happy. That was the whole thing.
I need a part 2 to that movie. I need to know, did she eventually grow up and get more powers, or the only thing she could do is fly?
Probably maybe she learned some other things as she grew older, unless she turned her back on being a witch.
Well, then if that's the case, she don't need to fly.
Well, how's she gonna deliver all this stuff?
She'll figure it out. Maybe she decided she didn't wanna do delivery service anymore.
Maybe, yeah, she can become a baker instead,
Yeah,
help them
there we
out.
go. That would be cute. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this week's episode of Anime Sekai Podcast. Be sure to let us know, what is your favorite Ghibli movie
And what's your least favorite?
and why? Be sure to let us know on our Instagram page at Anime Sekai Podcast or our TikTok page at Anime Sekai Podcast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will catch you next week
Next week.
for a brand new episode. See you guys then.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.